Hello guys, today we are going to talk about something that can transform the way you build code, not technically but mentally, and that's event-driven architecture. And the question is why asynchronous code is often the difference between a system that fights you at every step and a system that grows with you no matter how big or demanding it becomes. Before we jump in, think about the last time your code base felt like it was holding you hostage. You needed to add a new feature, but touching anything meant breaking 5 other things. Deploying one change required waiting on 10 other services. Performance slowed down over the time and the system becomes brittle. And nobody could explain why. That is the reality of synchronous tightly coupled systems. They start small and innocent, but once your traffic or your business grows, the architecture turns into the giant ball of dependencies. It's more a stack of the water glasses that they need a nudge to collapse. This is what kills monolithic architecture first. Monolithic architecture means that everything must happen before the request finishes. And when everything must happen upfront, the user waits, the system blocks, and the infrastructure panics. Let me give you an example. A user clicks a place order. In a synchronous system, you must verify inventory first. When it confirms, you need to confirm the payment. And the reduced stock happens as an update in your database, and you need to then update your analytics and send the confirmation email to the customer. You need to log and audit the records all before they respond. If the email service is down, then the user spins. And if something times out, you may roll back even though half the process already succeeded, which means that inconsistent state and angry customers will come to you. This is what developers mean when they say complexity creates its own gravity. The more you do synchronously, the closer you orbit a black hole. But now let's flip the script. Imagine if the only thing that system did on the place order was emit a single event. We can name it as order placed, and that's it. Inventory hears it later, payment, email, analytics, all of them will hear it, and nobody waits. Nobody blocks, and nobody chained to anyone else. That's asynchronous thinking. And that's the essence of event-driven architecture. Asynchronous is not doing things in parallel, it is decoupling time. The caller doesn't wait. Once you decouple time, you decouple services, you decouple ownership. If the email is down, the order still succeeds. It can even retry it later. If analytics is overloaded, nobody cares. You move from fragility to resilience. That is why the companies like Netflix, Amazon, and Uber, they're overwhelmingly event-driven. It's the only way to scale without bottlenecks. So why doesn't everyone start this way? Because synchronous feels simpler early on. Function calls feel easy. But ease of coding is not ease of scaling. A synchronous call means I depend on you right now. But if you fail, I fail. Event says, here is what happened. React when you are ready. That mindset shift is the heart of event-driven architecture. You stop telling the system what to do and instead announce what happened. From there, services evolved independently. That's also why event-driven architecture improved developer velocity. Teams can ship independently without coordinating deploys, without waiting on each other, and without tight coupling. And if you are wondering whether this works at a scale, yes, this is exactly how modern high-volume systems survive growth. Event-driven systems absorb failure instead of cascading it. You design around facts, not requests. User registered, for example, order placed, payment completed. These are truths, not demands. And here's something important. You stop thinking in verbs and start thinking in nouns. Not do the payment, but payment happen. That is architectural clarity. Yes, you give up some linearity, but you gain decoupling and observability through logs and replay. This is why microservices only become practical after event streaming mature. Without events, microservices are just distributed monoliths. And you're curious where to start with one event. Don't rewrite everything. Replace one synchronous action with one emitted event. You don't need Kafka on day one. You need the mindset shift because the word itself is event-driven. Reality is asynchronous. Things happen, others react. Software that mirrors reality scales like reality. So if you take away one thing from this video, let it be this. Synchronous coupling is liability. Asynchronous events are freedom. This is not just a pattern. It is the foundation of scalable and resilient systems. But for now, ask yourself this. The question is not, should I move to event-driven architecture? The real question is, how long can you afford not to? Until the next video, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Bye.